Hello and welcome to the Car Care Nut channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to service the hybrid fan filter on your 2021 Toyota Venza Hybrid and 2019 and up Toyota RAV4 Hybrid, including the Prime. The Prime will have something different for the filter, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Consider subscribing to the channel. Check out some of my other videos. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. And without further ado, let's dig right into this one. Before we get started, if you have a RAV4 Prime, this filter will be in the exact same spot. However, it's not for the battery, it's for the DC to DC converter. It's in the same spot in all these three cars. So it's located on the passenger side of the rear seat, underneath the seat, as you see here. Let's get to how we're gonna remove that filter, service it, and replace it if needed. First, you're gonna move the passenger seat all the way forward so we can have enough room to work on the filter. Move it forward, then move the backrest as well all the way forward. We're going to start by removing this clip. This is a Phillips screwdriver. We're just going to slowly pull the middle of the clip out. When the clip comes out like this, we're just going to pull the whole clip, just like that. After you pull the clip, we're going to use a screwdriver right here, pick up the edge, and pull. There it goes. Alright folks, so here's the filter. Let's remove it. I want you to watch this tab and this tab as they are the primaries. So on this bottom tab, right here, we're going to grab the filter like so, pull it up over that tab. Here you go. Now we're going to just walk it down like so until we reach the final tab, and then we're going to release it from the final tab. Folks, here's the filter. I want you to watch the shape because we're going to use it for installation. Now this filter, according to Toyota, not according to me, you can clean those, reuse them as much as needed. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you want to replace it, I'll leave the part number right here. To install this, I want you to watch the shape of this filter. You see how it's narrow here and big here? If we look at the vent, it also has the narrow section right here and the big section here. So we're going to line up our filter corresponding to that. We're going to start from the top. See how I clipped the filter right there? We're going to walk it down. Now this filter is a little flimsy, so you're going to want to be a little bit patient, just like that. Walk the filter down until it clips in all the tabs, like that. One more here. And then at the very end, we're going to stretch the filter over that last tab. Just like so. See how that's sitting? Filter's underneath that tab. Once you've done that, you're ready to reinstall it. After you're done, you're gonna start with this clip. This clip goes to the back and line up the panel. Give it a little push. Then install your clip. You're all set. All right, folks, as you can see, this is very simple. I highly encourage you that you do this maintenance yourself, even if you've never worked on cars before. This is very simple, very easy. What's the worst that can happen? So you break that little clip? Well, here's the part number for that clip. It's a few bucks, not the end of the world. Go for it. I highly encourage you to work on your own car with the simple stuff like this. This is the lifeblood of your hybrid system, and you do not know how many people I get at my work, where I work at the dealership, that first have no idea that there is such a filter. Second, they have a big grocery bag right in front of that filter intake. That's just the way it is. People are not informed about these, and this is the lifeblood of your hybrid battery. Let me take this opportunity to answer a few questions that pop up all the time. Let me start with the first one. How do you clean this filter once you know now how to get it out of the car? But how do you clean it? Well, very simple. You can use a vacuum, or if you have a compressor at home, you can use some compressed air and blow it. Or if you're not comfortable with either, just buy a new filter. It's not really that expensive. According to Toyota, like I mentioned before, they can be cleaned and reused, but after some time, the paper is just going to get too soft and start crumbling. You might want to replace it at that point. Another very common question is, how often should you clean or replace or service this filter, if you would? I get this question all the time. Viewers always ask me about this, and I'll tell you the summary of this. This depends on your use. Well, if you have pets in the back seat, we love our furry ones, but they shed hair. All that hair ends up on that filter. So if you have pets, I encourage you to be more proactive about this filter, checking it, cleaning it if needed. If you have kids, we all have kids and we love our kids, but they tend to make messes in the back seat of our cars. So you also want to be proactive about checking it. If you drive Uber, Lyft, taxi driver, or you just have heavy back seat use, all the lint from our clothes, it also ends up on that filter and clogs it. So to sum it up, follow this basic guideline. Check it every month to 3 months initially. If it's clean, increase that interval to 6 months, then a year, then 2 years, because believe it or not, if you don't use that back seat very often and your car is generally clean, it's not going to get dirty. It could be years before it actually gets dirty. So that's what I mean by depends on your use. You want to establish a schedule based on your use for that back seat. That way you keep that filter clean. And the biggest idea is never clog it. What I mean by clogging is not by debris, but don't put stuff in front of that filter. That area of the back seat, keep it clear. You can put stuff on the other side of the seat, on the driver's side, that's fine. But don't put objects directly in front of that, like a shopping bag, or, you know, we have lives and we have things that fall. We have papers in the back and the paper falls. And all it takes is the paper comes in, that fan is pulling air through, and it just pulls that paper and it clogs that vent. Ask me how I know that. Folks, I work at a dealership. I see those things all the time. Shopping bags, papers, just flat old McDonald's bags just clogging that thing. And I see fans blaring because the hybrid system now needs to cool that battery and it can't take enough air to cool it. And it's just going to ramp up that fan all the time. Which brings us to the next question that people ask all the time. Well, I hear that fan running on high. I'm driving and all of a sudden it just goes on high and I hear it. Folks, that's not reason to be alarmed. The hybrid system will vary the speed of the fan according to need. There are times where it's going to need it to be on high. There's times where it's going to be on low. When the fan runs high, that doesn't mean there's a problem. It just needs more cooling. But if that fan is running on high all the time and it's, say, 20 degrees Fahrenheit outside, I would take a peek at that filter because something is not right at that point. But if it occasionally runs on high, I'm not worried, and you shouldn't be either. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something new in this video. If you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, consider subscribing, support the channel. Check out some of my other videos. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and you have a wonderful day.